Exactly 1 year ago today, 14-year-old Perry Cohen and his friend, also a fellow 14-year-old, Austin Stefanos, departed for a fishing trip alone off the coast of Jupiter, Florida. The trip was mundane for the two experienced fishermen. Austin Stefanos had been operating a fishing boat since he was 10 years old. Both Austin and Perry had a deep love for fishing and the ocean. The families of the boys even said that their children could swim before they could walk. On July 24th, the day of their departure, the boys were seen at a local marina at 1:30 p.m., picking up needed supplies for their excursion. However, when a storm rolled through that afternoon, high waves were reported in the area that Austin and Perry could have been fishing, and since their parents couldn't reach them by cell phone, fearing the worst, the families of the boys filed a missing persons report. Later that night, the Coast Guard launched a search and rescue mission. Social media began to explode with the news that two teen boys from Florida had gone missing during their fishing trip. The hashtag #FindAustinandPerry was trending for days. 2 days after the search began, the boat the boys traveled on was found 67 nautical miles off the coast. 3 possibly life-saving items were not found on the recovered boat. As the days passed, more and more attention was turned to the story. However, when days started turning into weeks, survivalist experts estimated that if the boys had survived, they would be running extremely low on food and drinkable water. After 7 days of searching with no results, the Florida Coast Guard ended their official search for the boys. However, the families of Austin and Perry had set up a GoFundMe in order to continue a private search. With nearly $500,000 and a handful of pilots and planes, the private search commenced. Unfortunately, the private search also turned up empty-handed, and on August 9th, the families of the boys made the grueling decision to end all remaining search and rescue operations after 2 weeks since the boys had gone missing. On August 4th, the boat that Austin and Perry had used during their trip, which was previously recovered on July 26th, had gone missing. It wouldn't be recovered again until late April 2016. This time around, the boat would be sent back to land in order to be properly investigated. Recovery crews also found the phone of Austin Stefanos. After a brief legal battle with the Cohen family over whether to turn the phone over to authorities in an attempt to recover information, Apple was unable to power on the phone or recover any data. On April 29th, the Sun Centennial reported that a pilot who had been part of the search and rescue attempt believed he had seen one of the boys on a makeshift life raft, waving his arms towards the aircraft the pilot was flying. The Sun Centennial also reported that the pilot, after seeing this, radioed in for help, but lost sight of the debris and was never able to locate it again. Just a few days after the boat was found again, pictures of the recovered boat showed the ignition switch for the craft switched to off. As experts later discussed, it required a large amount of effort in order to switch the ignition switch from on to off. An attorney for the Cohen family responded to the findings by issuing this statement, essentially saying that they could not confirm whether foul play was involved. A criminal defense attorney from Los Angeles made headlines saying, "There's a 60% chance of foul play." Last month, it was reported that a 170-foot supply ship would be sunk to create an artificial reef off the coast of Florida. Plaques for Austin and Perry are going to be located on the ship, along with other names of people who have been classified as lost at sea. Now, throughout this entire video, you may have thought that all that has come from this horrible tragedy is despair. And yes, the pain and the suffering from the families of the loss of their 2 teenage boys is something we cannot fathom. However, throughout all this pain and tragedy, the families have had some light come out of this. They've established foundations for their children in order to continue the legacy of them. They advocate for more boating safety laws and have even submitted boating safety bills. A highlight of the Perry J. Cohen Foundation is their scholarship program for marine biologists, and already 500 people have completed the foundation's boating safety courses. And to close, even a year after this horrible tragedy, the memories of Austin and Perry still remain fresh in the minds of many, including myself. And on this anniversary of horrible tragedy, let us never lose hope that by some miracle, whether on earth or in heaven, the families of these two boys will see them again. Thank you for watching, and this is Carson Frisky, signing off.